Hey, music lovers, Sarah J here. Looking for an inclusive space where you can connect with fellow fans, deep dive into your favorite music, and be a part of something special? Well, look no further. Join us on Patreon, where music and community come together. Get exclusive content, behind the scenes access, and a place to geek out over the artists you love, plus explore music you haven't heard yet. Come hang out with us. Patreon.com/DATC Media Company. That's patreon.com/DATC Media Company. See you there. A member of the DATC Media family. Previously on Dropped Among This Crowd podcast.
It was right around when we were doing the podcast with Rob. I had asked Ben to come over, and I'm like, Ben, I just want to do something that's not really songs, just something that's different for both of us, just a studio thing, and then, so let's start this. And then we started it, and laid down a whole bunch of drum tracks. And years went by, and then I texted him like, "Hey man, you remember when we recorded those bass or the bass tracks, like BASE, not BASS tracks for the new album that we had talked about, doing something?" I said, "Well, I've been doing stuff with it, and then I've been sending him mixes, and he's like, "Oh wow, holy crap, this is great." From the very beginning, you were here beside, while I was wrapped around your love. As the days went by, your presence faded away, and I was left alone again. When I went to school, and you were hanging around, I felt you lurking round the place. It's all got a flip side when I look at it now. You were on the inside when I was lost, not found. I own a restaurant and bar, and which is kind of convenient. Every time you want to throw a party, you just do it there instead of your house because it's easier to clean. You've already got everything over there. And as far as like our bar, my upright is there. There's guitars hanging on the wall. It's a jam spot. I have a bowl of guitar picks. There's 600 in this bowl.
That's amazing.
I have strings, I have cables, I have all that stuff down there. It's kind of great because I've had that crap in my house for so long that it's nice to kind of spread it around and bring things over there, which has been good. So, that's where the jamming, the old time bluegrass jamming has been coming in, because I started doing that old time bluegrass jamming over there. I'm actually recording a banjo player right now named Lindsay Lydon, and he is an old time banjo, not only musician but maker, and his banjos are amazing. He makes his banjos are specifically geared towards old time players. They're called Mulheron banjos.
Yes. Okay. That's why the name was familiar.
And he, as far as the old time festival circuit goes, he frequents those. He sells his banjos. These kind of banjos you have to pay a lot of money for, and you're on a waiting list. Essentially, they're real made in small batches. So he decided he wants to put out a record that not only features his banjos, but also it's always something he wanted to do. So we're doing that currently. We've started that, and it's looking pretty promising. I'm really, really happy about that. It's completely different from Cuddle Clouds. Obviously, this is going, it's his record. This is his idea. I'm just getting the sounds on the medium before it's mastered and distributed. I believe he's looking at vinyl as well. We're all kind of looking at vinyl. I do know that in that particular circuit of old time players that go to festivals, they still trade CDs as far as I know. So I think we might print some CDs for him too.
So what
So
does
I'm
that
working.
look like with printing something on vinyl? Like, to kind of go off topic for a second, like what
Mm,
does that look like if you want to press something that is, such an independent release like this? What does that
yeah,
look like?
you have. There's a couple companies out there, and most of them have a minimum of 100.
Okay.
It runs you around $1,200, $1,500.
Okay.
Some of them have faster turnaround times than others, so that's something to consider. Obviously, the bigger ones will have a faster turnaround. Like Disc Makers, I think is the biggest. I think Disc Makers also does CDs. There's a place in Asheville that does cassette tapes. If you're interested, I have
That's
not found
cool.
any. That is cool. I've not found anybody who does 8 tracks.
Yes.
That would be
I'm sure
wild.
there's somebody
Nobody
though.
would be able to hear it. um,
Somebody's, random great grandma somewhere
I
probably,
mean,
but
maybe I used to have an 8 track player. Oh, I have no idea what happened to it. No clue. Or even reel to reel stuff. I have a reel to reel,
I wouldn't even know how to use it.
but
Wouldn't. Yeah.
tape is crazy. I don't know if you are you for very familiar with cassette tapes like from back in the day when you used to buy cassette
Yep.
tapes. Do you
Yep.
remember the Maxells?
Yep.
It was a gold foil kind of thing. They were the
Yep.
industry standard. Those were the best for making mixtapes for your friends and all those. Those were
Yep.
the best high bias. They
Totally.
run for about $20 for a blank tape if you can find it online, a
That's
piece.
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Um anyway, so yeah, there are companies that do the vinyl pressing. Like I said, they're all different turnaround times, different pricing. Um typically you'll send them the stuff and then they'll send you a it's like a test press.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little sample to, so that you can hear, make sure everything sounds good. I would suggest if you're going to do that, whoever mastered it needs to listen to it because that's definitely the person that needs to verify that what they're hearing is. As far as mastering goes, a lot of people don't know this, but mastering is a big step with putting out a record or putting out any kind of release because they have to master the music. They have to make it so that it's even sonically
Yeah.
on all different kind of mediums. So whether it's coming out of your iPhone or a big system, your car, whether it's being squashed into an MP3 that is shared over, Sirius XM or whatever the hell it is, it has to sound good and on all those mediums. So it's an art form
Yeah.
what those guys do. I cannot do that.
Yeah.
These guys have ears that I do not possess, and
Yeah.
I don't understand it. They are aliens.
Yeah.
Do you hear me,
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
The people who master records are aliens. So Paul Klinsman is an alien. Um, I've been working with him. He's done the last 4 things that I've put out. He just knows me.
Yeah.
He gets me. So I use
Yeah.
him a lot, and I've never been unhappy with anything that he's put out. So I'm really, really good. His outfit is called Theory One Productions. They're out of Niles, Michigan.
Okay.
I do believe he may do some stuff with Humphreys. Um, I could be wrong. Don't know, but he's good friends with Jim Leap.
Okay.
So
Yep.
there's the connection. As a matter of fact, I only know him through Jim Leap.
Makes
So
sense.
that's how
Yeah.
that works.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
But the mastering, you could basically have a turd and record it in the studio, and a good mastering person,
Yeah.
the aliens,
The
will make it
aliens.
sound good. It will make the turd sound good.
Polish a turd.
Correct.
I love it. I love it. So you were talking about before we kind of pushed away from the vinyl. You were talking about working on those other projects. So if you
Hmm.
remember where you were, can we come back
Yeah,
to
working
that?
with Lindsay Leiden on his banjo project, which
Yeah.
it's for now. For now, he's like, I want to keep it traditional. So of course, what do? The first take. I he left. He recorded some tracks. He left, and then I just like opened up a new page and then like copy and pasted a bunch of crap over there, and then just like completely made it into this spooky song where I took his tracks and laid them on top of each other, and then I got my upright bass and a bow, and I put all kinds of effects on it and went and then sent it back to him, and he's like, "Well, I kind of want to keep it traditional," which is weird. I mean, I take rejection pretty well, so I was like, "Okay, whatever, man."
Okay.
But I was just screwing around. Um, but he wants to keep it traditional for now. He is probably going to put all the tracks on power. He's very connected with the old time community, especially locally. He's connected with the folk school down here, John C. Campbell Folk School out of Brasstown, North Carolina. His family, all of them play. Like his sisters play banjo and fiddle. Concertina, I think one of them does. Daddy plays bass, mama plays tenor, all that stuff. I mean, it's in the old time sense. They play at our restaurant, as a matter of fact, quite often. They know a lot of these tunes as well. Like, I mean, how many things can Sally do? Sally on the Turnpike, Sally on the this, Sally on the that. I mean, Sally does Sally does Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And those who know old time know what the hell I'm talking about. There's just so many songs, and I always, especially with some of the guys who play, some of the people I should say that play at our restaurant for these old time bluegrass jams. I always tell them, y'all are not just musicians, you're historians.
Yeah.
Because these are all songs that are disappearing. People don't know them. We're talking, a lot of Civil War era songs. You'll also have songs that are Depression songs from the Depression. A lot of them, obviously, old time is a fusion of Irish, basically Scots Irish music with Americana, basically.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you listen to a lot of Irish music, there's a lot of crossover, and there's a lot of old time songs that originally were Irish songs. Because I mean, that's where it all came from, was Scotland, Ireland,
Yeah.
by the immigrants that came here. The immigrants that came in this area, in particular, Western North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Appalachia, basically. I mean, they brought their music with them.
Yeah.
And they had all of the instrumentation in line, and then it kind of evolved in America to what it is now. So these people, they know these songs. They're historians. They're not just players.
Absolutely.
And it's extremely important. So what I'm doing is I'm doing my best to learn it. Maybe I can get it on. I can record a lot of it. A lot of it is recorded, which is great because people are doing this and they're having festivals, and it is a big thing. It's super popular. It's super popular with young people, which is very positive.
That's very cool to hear.
That means it's and it's a lot of people who are into like Billy Strings, for instance, who's probably the largest acoustic artist right now out there.
Yeah.
That young people have attached to. People are getting into bluegrass. And then once they know Billy Strings, they're starting to go backwards and be like, "Oh, Tony Rice."
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, and then you just keep going backwards, and then the bluegrass thing, you see the roots of the bluegrass thing, which is the old time thing, and then from the old time thing is the Irish thing, and they are becoming aware of music history, whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
Becoming aware of music history. So I'm finding my place in that. I mean, obviously I do play banjo. I do play guitar. I know these songs a lot. I know, I don't know every song, obviously, but I'm learning them. And that has been the best part about all of this. And now I'm obviously putting the upright bass on it. And then my buddy Chuck, who I spoke of earlier, we had a conversation last week after a jam. And I was like, I really love playing the upright bass. I'm learning these songs. And he's like, well, when you go to these festivals, you'll have 125 banjo players. You'll have 350 guitar players. You'll have 500 fiddle players, and there'll be 4 bass players. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they play with everybody. These guys do. So if you're a bass player, it's like you get your experience is you get a lot more exposure and a lot more experience with more artists than just the regular old Joe who plays, guitar.
Yeah.
Guitars are a dime a dozen.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and guitars have they have their place in the old time music, mainly brought over on the Spanish side, I believe. And I think it was more of an afterthought, but it was all the banjo and the fiddle. And you might have heard that there's
Yep.
songs written called the banjo and the fiddle.
Yep. Yep.
That's the core of that music. And the
Yep.
bass was kind of an afterthought too. Of course, the bass could have been all kinds of things back then because you can't really. I mean, the bass is so large, the upright bass anyway. Try getting it on a plane.
Right.
It's extremely difficult. There are companies that have come up with bases that you can break down and bring them on airplanes and stuff. Some people can source one, like if they have to travel overseas to play, maybe borrow one in the country that they're going to, that kind of thing. But it was mainly the banjo and the fiddle. Those were the two things. And of course, it's all about the vocals and the lyrics of the songs, because that's really the identity of the song. You don't need anything else. You need the lyrics and the vocals. It's really the most important thing. And with most music, but especially that one, because that's where it all comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, even slave
Yep.
songs working in the fields,
Yep.
whatever. Most of the time, the songs are about murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many
Truly.
songs in the old time world about murder.
Yeah.
It's kind of fascinating.
Escaping,
Yeah. It was
like
a
all
lot
those
easier to
different
kill
things.
people back then, apparently, and get away with it.
Apparently.
Write songs about it. Hey, I killed my wife, blah, blah, blah. Wrote this great song.
Wrote this
That
great
kind
song
of.
about this that I did.
So anyway, that's been a lot of fun. Has that been a part of Cuddle Clouds? Yeah, I think it is, or it was, for the record, from the standpoint of, um, a lot of the a lot of the uh, what do you call it, mechanisms that some of the songs on Cuddle Clouds, or all of them, have roots as well from old time music. There's a lot of bass lines in there that could be reggae, could be old time, could be bluegrass.
Mm.
Kind of all comes together
Yep.
in a big stew. So it's all an experience. It's all just school,
Yeah.
really.
Yep.
So this project is just a school project. It's like
Yeah.
my son's model of a cell. There's a little mitochondria. There's a little nucleus. I have it in the garage. I'm going to put it in the studio, as a matter of fact. That's why it was on my head, or
That's a
in my
great
head.
analogy though. Perfect analogy.
But yeah, it is just school.
Yeah.
And when we have a show, it's kind of like having, the show that your parents come to, and the play, the
Yep.
school play. That's
Yep.
what it is.
Yep. The chorus
Just
concert. I'm going to one of those tonight. My daughter has her chorus concert tonight.
see, there you
So,
go.
yep.
There you go.
Chorus concert.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, another thing about the music that I didn't, about old time and bluegrass, is dance, and how important dance is to all that as well. Because it's very important that the dance element is recognized with this type of music,
Okay.
because that is all, because there are a lot of songs that are written for dance, and this all, a lot of this comes from Europe, obviously, all over Europe. A lot of these folk songs, they all have a corresponding dance to them.
That's
And
fascinating.
mhm. So that definitely needs to be recognized. um Cuddle Cloud stuff, can you dance to it? Probably. I haven't tried yet, But maybe Sunday we will. We'll see. We'll see on Sunday because I plan on playing the record in the bar, and it's half off drinks. So you put those together, and
Listen,
someone's gonna be either
get
be breaking
down.
something or dancing somehow.
I don't feel you would get a vibe at all to break anything listening to this album, though, unless maybe you'd taken the brown acid and were having a bit
Yeah,
of
just hearts. You're just gonna break hearts.
just break hearts. I love
Yeah.
it. So you are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and
Hmm.
then the album is
Pretty much
streaming
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, especially the big four.
Big
The
four.
big four meaning Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. Those are the top four.
The four
But
main.
it is everywhere. If you just search it, you'll find it.
Yep. How is the venue? What was the venue that was down there?
It
And then you guys had the
was
hurricane and everything, and
right. I don't know if I told you about where we're at specifically in Hayesville slash Murphy, North Carolina. We're like right at the western edge of North Carolina, almost into Tennessee. Um,
okay.
the Georgia border for me is like a half a mile down the street.
Okay.
So we're super close to Georgia. We're around Lake Chattooga, it's called. So it's a lake town.
Yeah.
The highway basically goes in a circle around a lake, and that's all we do is just drive around this lake around here. The population has increased dramatically, especially since COVID. A lot of people have bought houses up here. They live here now.
Makes sense.
It's been great. It's been fun. But the hurricane, back to that, Helene, uh, it was the craziest day. And I'll tell you, it was almost exactly a year ago. No, it was a month ago. It was about a year and a month ago.
Okay.
And of course, all of the hype you see of this thing coming up is going to be, this, that, and the other thing. And what was incredible about it was I got up at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and was watching the Weather Channel and the radar to see where this thing was going. The center of circulation was due to go right over us and right over Murphy, which it did. The center of circulation. So with these storms, you have where the center is, and then there are the bands on the outside of it, where all of the chaos is. The center of circulation is kind of like the eye. So
Yeah.
it was a little, nothing going on there. We watched this thing and the bands go completely around our location. They like did an arc around us. We didn't get shit. We hardly got any rain, any wind, nothing. And just an hour away, 45 minutes, kind of where my buddy Jacob lives over in Waynesville, hammered
Complete chaos.
and complete chaos. Um, we did feel the effects of it as far as economic effects and
Right.
commerce and transportation and that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, we have a thing around here. It's basically called leaf season. Everybody comes here to look at the pretty little leaves. They go on the parkway. It brings people from all over the country and all over the world to come see it here. It's a very popular thing for North Carolina, especially the parkway. And it is a huge revenue. It's a shot of revenue for us
Yeah.
every year. You can count
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Last year, not so much. Well, first of all, you had the dumb governor saying, Western Carolina is closed. Don't even come over here. But we're over here like, no, we're not.
No, please come spend
We
money
have to
here.
sell food and
Yes.
booze.
Yes. Please come and
So
spend your
we
money
bought
here.
this shit. Come
Yes.
here and buy it before it goes bad, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our sales were very were significantly lower
Yeah.
last leaf season. This year I had so many people of our customer. We have a lot of people that come from Florida, tons, big thing. A lot of our Florida people saying, "Oh, we missed you last year, or coming this year," and we definitely saw an uptick, well, especially compared to last year, of revenue and sales this year, which is a great thing.
For sure.
Um, so that was your question about Helene and how it affected us. I mean, of course, the the death amounts. I mean, there are numbers that there are still numbers and numbers of people that have never been found,
That's insane.
and it's like these people got washed away. It's
Yeah.
kind of when it happened and it was revealed to us, or that we were there was a group on Facebook. Um, it was like missing persons of from Helene, and it basically was a live Google Docs document um, online, and it was basically like people listed that were missing, and with the intent of hopefully somebody found it and we can check them off the list.
Yeah.
I mean, that list is still halfway. They don't know where the people are, or just
Insane.
is a big one, and I think it kind of got. I don't think it's got enough attention.
Because
Because there was a
unfortunately, there's so much of everything else that's going on
Yeah, and
that,
that's what it was. There was some. What was the event? There was an event that happened right after the. Oh, it was the fires. It was the fires out west. The Palestine. What is it? Palisades. I
yep.
don't even
Yeah,
remember
out in
Malibu
California.
fires and
Yep.
all that.
Yep. All that
That
happened.
happened
Yep.
right after that, and then all
Yep.
the attention went over there.
Yep.
And then after that, and it was something else.
Yep.
So it's like we have a short attention span with this kind of stuff.
Well, and because
But
you're
it was
just
a big
being
deal.
so inundated with everything all the time on your phone that it's hard for people to even have
Hmm.
any sort of empathy, I think, at this point, because you're just so inundated with story after story after story after event
Yeah, it's
after event after event. And
overstimulation.
people can't give a fuck even if they wanted to, I think, because it's
Right.
overwhelming for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Unfortunately. And then everybody there is still kind of just like, yeah, but we remember. We didn't forget,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Now back to the venues in Asheville. I do know that was Salvage Station
Salvage
was the big
station.
one.
Yeah.
That was the one that got completely destroyed and is no longer.
That's really sad. That place was
Mhm.
so
Everybody loved that
cool.
place.
Oh, that place was
Yeah.
so cool. And it had one of the nicest backstage areas like
Mm-hmm.
ever. Like it was such a cool
Mm-hmm.
vibe, like even backstage and everything they had for the artists and everything. And it was such a cool spot. Like I'm glad that I was able to go down there and check out that venue because it was a really
Mm-hmm.
cool place. Do they have any
Mm-hmm.
plans to?
I really don't know.
Yeah, I hope they
I
do.
haven't.
That spot
I
is so
haven't.
cool.
We went to Asheville to catch a plane over was that last January, but that was the last time I was in Asheville itself.
Yeah,
But I mean, when I went through, you could see still just piles of stuff, just heaps of stuff everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Insane,
mhm.
insane.
But hopefully they're getting the people back, and hopefully things are trending in the right
Mhm.
direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, especially for music, because Asheville's huge, like on this old time bluegrass scene that we're talking about.
I
Huge,
bet. Yeah,
huge
yeah,
in the huge in the jam scene.
yeah.
Um, huge. I think even Irish. I think there's a lot of Irish musicians in that area as well. Jazz. There's a lot of jazz
Yeah.
out of Asheville. I know that after Helene, it was a big um, musicians really had it tough, because there's nowhere to play
Yeah. Yeah.
for a while. But I do believe things have, kind of gotten back to normal. You know what else I like about Asheville is there's a classical musical community there too,
Really?
which is cool. There's a little bit of everything in Asheville,
That is very cool.
just a little bit of everything. They have the Asheville Symphony Orchestra. Don't know how they're doing these days. I assume they're picking it back up and still rocking and rolling. But yeah, so definitely a setback for that area. But we're not directly in that area. We're trying. I guess we're just trying to do our own thing locally here. Especially with old time music. You do have cover bands of people locally doing stuff. Um, Nothing huge, but as far as original music around here, mm, not so much. Just in my basement.
And
That's
that's
pretty
okay.
much it.
And
That's
that's
fine.
okay. And that's
That's
totally
fine.
okay.
Mm.
That's fun. And then we have this and we produce this awesomeness.
Right, and it doesn't nowadays. It kind of doesn't matter where you're at. So
Exactly.
you can still collaborate over the internet, send tracks to each other. Kind of like we did a lot of that with the last ABT record, and we're sending stuff back and forth a lot.
Did you hear about, so do you know that Michael Palmisano dude?
Yeah, sure do.
Okay. So have you heard about the thing that he came out with called the teleport?
Mm-mm.
So it's this thing that he came up with, and essentially it allows you to jam with
Oh
somebody
yes,
else.
it's trying to
Yeah.
fix the latency issue.
Yeah.
Is I think is what it does. So I'm not really sure what's involved with the technology on that. Worth looking into though.
Yeah, I was like when I saw it and then like yeah, I thought it was a cool idea anyways, all the stuff that I've seen his videos and whatever.
Hmm.
And as we were talking and everything, I was thinking about that. I'm like, that might be some kind of a gadgety thing that you would be
Yeah,
into.
I'm curious to house with it's he's basically trying to fix the latency problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if there's another medium that's better latency, than others. Like maybe there's something better than the internet. I don't know. Skylink? People jam on Skylink. I don't know. What I mean? If it's a satellite, then
Yeah.
I guess it'd be a lot quicker than
Yeah.
going through the normal channels that we regularly go through for like right now. It's like I just clapped my hands, but you didn't hear that for another
Right.
3 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever the heck it is.
Right.
2 seconds. So in a jam situation, obviously that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, 2 seconds is a
You,
lifetime.
your drummer just hit the bass drum and you just played on it, but he didn't hear you play on it until a second later.
Yep.
It's tough. I wonder how he did that. Have you talked to him at all, or
We haven't been able to connect and make a time happen, but I wanted to have him on the show. I mean, not only for my own curiosity to hear more
explain
about
it?
it, but
Hmm.
I know a lot of people that listen to my show would be definitely intrigued by the whole thing too, and
Right.
just the whole process and the concept, where he even wanted to do it. So it hasn't happened yet, but we will do it for sure because I'm just personally intrigued too about all the
Hmm.
parts of it. So, yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, I know he's got a bunch of videos and stuff. So, if you have a chance, definitely check it out because I was like, this is something I think Carl would be into.
What did you call? I'm gonna write it down. What did you
It's
call it
called the
again? The
teleport.
teleport.
Yeah,
That's one of Mike Whitney's songs. Teleport.
teleport. I love it. It's like you could do it that as you could call that like for an offshoot of Sedona. Like it's the teleport, the vortex, as you said. That's the
The
word that they use
vortex.
out there. The vortex.
It is the word they use out there.
I love that. That's just like my whole vibe too. So I want to go
Hmm.
out there and just soak up the whole vibe, take some of those
Yeah.
Arizona gummies and wander around.
Best I've had. So,
And
so
it's
it,
funny you called me out too because in my review, I made a comment about, taking mushrooms and then taking a hike through Sedona and you
yeah,
texted me and you were like, it was gummies, not mushrooms. But
yes,
I was just like, but see, I
yes,
knew. Like you could tell.
right. Now I don't know what New York is like as far as um, purchasing THC.
Totally
Uh,
legal.
sure.
21 and older.
It
Yeah.
was weird. It was weird because in Arizona you walk in and you have to show them an ID like as soon as you walk in, and I thought that was kind of strange. But and then there's some guy behind a computer And then they have to put labels on everything that they sell, which whatever, not a big deal. But here, I mean, like I sell THC drinks at my bar. I
Yeah.
mean, and honestly, there's no rules at all.
Interesting.
Like you don't.
Interesting.
It says on the can must be 21 and older, but there's no rule. There's no law that says you have to be 21 and over to have
Yeah, see,
THC
I don't
drinks.
think that they're allowed to do that at bars in New York State.
Yeah, there could be. It could be a state thing.
That's interesting.
Um, yeah, I mean, there isn't like we're kind of archaic with our alcohol laws in North Carolina. They still have an ABC system, which you have to basically purchase your liquor from the state, and the state puts stamps on it. And you have
Okay.
to keep track of your bottles, and you have to do this and you have to do that. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. But the THC thing,
They don't
they're
give
not a
a
part of any of it. Not a part of any of it. In Georgia, they sell it in gas stations.
Yeah, see, you can't buy any, it's all at a dispensary in
Right.
New York State. Like the
And
drinks, everything, yeah.
same thing with Arizona, as far as I could tell, but not here.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild? Because it's like y'all are very liberal with the THC stuff. Oh no, you're very liberal with the alcohol stuff, which we are not, but we're very liberal with the THC stuff, which you're not.
Because New York State wants every last tax dollar that they can
Well,
get off of it.
that's why North Carolina has it all locked up with their alcohol too. Because I
Yeah.
mean, they get that tax money. It's what is it? A dollar. They have every bottle they get a set amount. Okay, I should
Yeah.
know what that number is
You
right off the
should
top of my head.
know, but it's okay.
I forgot what it is, but it is definitely a set amount per bottle they make, no matter what. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um, but and now that we're talking about this state law crap, they just outlawed in North Carolina tobacco vapes, nicotine vapes,
Really?
because in North Carolina, what do they make a lot of?
Yep.
Cigarettes,
Cigarettes.
tobacco.
Yep. Yep.
So they said, no, we're not gonna let. Nope, nope, nope. You can't do
That's
that. Yeah,
hilarious.
it's and because I go to this vape store to buy cigars. I don't really I don't smoke. I just take gummies if go to bed or whatever. And the guy's back behind the counter and he's clearing out all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, are you doing a revamp, reset? What are you doing here? He's like, oh no, they just outlawed um nicotine vapes. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, that's our bread and butter. I was like, holy crap. And then he told me about it. And I was like, and then it clicked. I was like, oh, it's North Carolina.
Yep. Yep.
Would take out the competition. So, but and it's kind of sad. I mean, I know that the jury's still out on whether or not tobacco vaping is safe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have used it to quit smoking cigarettes.
Right.
So I
Right.
mean, you're taking away that ability to somebody try to do something a little better for themselves.
Right.
If they're just using it as a step
Right.
to get away from it.
Yep. It's almost like if they outlawed like the patches or the gum or any other
Right.
the other things that,
Sure.
are out there that people use and stuff. But because, there's no money in people that are not smoking because then
Sure.
they're like healthy. You can't have
Yeah,
that
and
now.
those smoker numbers are going down. They had probably
Yep.
had to do something drastic.
They had to
We
do
got to figure
something.
this out. We're going to lose our money.
Yep. Can't have that now.
So, so that's interesting.
Of course. All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to? I mean, there are so
Um,
many rabbit holes and things that you and I could definitely talk about, but
one thing I am going to do at the party, and maybe we'll figure out a way to do it online, is basically a survey that says, "What's your favorite song off the album?"
yeah.
And of course, the details like what's your name, what's your email. Would you purchase a vinyl version of it? And see how much how much interest there really is to do it, and then that'd probably be the next step
Yeah.
for that record is to press it on vinyl, and then and just enjoy it. You know, this it is what it is. It's a lot. It was a lot of fun putting together. There's a lot of messaging on a lot of the songs, a lot because I wanted to make very good positive messaging. I wanted a break from the everyday crap,
Yep.
especially with Your Light. You know, Your Light is basically you have your piece of God, your light.
Yep.
Don't let anybody eclipse it. Don't let anybody stand in your way from showing your light, who you really are, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the most important thing.
Yep. Yep. That's what I tell people too that aren't familiar with your work, and especially this release when I was sending it to some friends of mine, and I was like, really listen to
Mm-hmm.
what's being said, so as even the quirkiness of the opening track, Amazon, is,
Mm-hmm.
it's classic Engelmann fashion. It's quirky, but it's also pointed and political and all
Mm-hmm.
of those things wrapped into it as well. And when you really take a minute and you actually listen to it, it's just like all the other tracks on the album as well.
Yeah, like Flip Side, for instance, is about the afterlife,
Mhm.
essentially. Have you ever heard of the podcast called the Telepathy Tapes?
I don't think I have.
It is a podcast about these kids with severe autism,
Okay.
and they are discovering that they are non-communicating kids with autism, and they're discovering that they are starting to communicate with each other telepathically.
That's
And
interesting.
when well, because if you think about it, when you lose your sight, your sense of hearing is enhanced.
Yep.
So if you can't communicate normally with people, whether with your voice, sign language, or whatever, you basically are non-communicative. You're blank. And there's a person in there. There's a person with that light that we talked about in the previous song. They have that light, and they just want their light to be shared, and they want to be able to communicate with people, especially their family members. So there's lots of documented experiences with especially parents with their children basically saying my kid is talking to me in my head,
Amazing.
and it's a huge it's a telepathy. It's what you would do if you couldn't communicate. You would figure out a way to do it. So it
Yeah.
just shows you how incredible the human mind is and the
Totally.
spirit of the human
Yeah.
to be able to find a way around their physical barriers in order to do that, communicate. And the podcast is a lot about that. And and I listened to the whole thing, and I think that I believe Joe Rogan had the person who made the podcast on his podcast. I do believe that's not how I found out about it. I found out about it some other way. I don't know how I did. Fate. I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
know. But it was really fascinating how they were talking about this place called the Hill, where other people, other kids and adults, whatever, who are extremely autistic, who are non-communicative, actually meet at this place that they call the Hill. And at the Hill, they have friends. And there's documented stories of people who have never met each other on opposite sides of the country who have been friends for years from the Hill, being on the Hill. And the podcast goes into these people meeting each other for the first time. And it's just incredible. It's definitely something to start listening to because it
Yeah.
makes you think that there's something greater than we're really being told,
Yeah.
and than we really know. We probably know, but it's like we haven't been
Because
able to
there's
put
so
it in
much
a.
other shit going on that
Mhm.
we
Yeah, that's a distraction too. Yeah,
detach from that. We detach from the truth.
right. So the
Yeah.
flip side is a song about that. Um, and then the waterfall, of course. There's a wallet full, kind of.
Yep. Yep.
There's a little tug there on that one. And are there any other lyrics on any of the other songs on that? No, not really. I don't think there is. Octopus is one. The reason why Octopus is called Octopus is because there are 8 bars
Okay.
that just musical bars, 8 of them that just repeat. I wrote that song years ago. Like I wrote the structure of that song years ago. Um, and I've always wanted to put it on a better record, like a better medium, you know, professional studio, professional mastering, get it out there. Um, it's definitely a water song.
It
It's
is
it you can visualize
very
octopus,
fluid and oh yeah,
an
billowy
actual
and just
octopus on the bottom of the seafloor,
totally. Totally.
kind
And
of
just
creeping around.
that just like that fullness and just the
Mm-hmm.
fattiness of the octopus itself like
Mm-hmm.
and I
It's
even said that in my review too. It's just like you have this way of always making like you said earlier in our conversation with the cloud songs. It's just like
mm,
it sounds how it would be and you
right.
just have this gift and I even said in my review too of if National Geographic needs anybody to do any sort of a soundtrack like they need to call Karl Engelmann because he knows how things sound.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing about Cuddle Clouds was that it was like we were recording these tracks, and there was just I didn't really hold back.
Love
I was
that.
kind of just letting things
Just
happen, and that's where
love
the
that.
mistakes come in. That's where the imperfections come in. Let it happen.
But that's the part of what makes art so beautiful is that perfection is
Hmm.
that not perfection is those flaws and those mistakes as you said. And I think coming back to what we've talked about a couple times is I think people are wanting even that more too. They're sick
Hmm.
of the polished Instagram whatever's like
Hmm.
they want the realness of everything and
Right.
so even coming back to that point again is having that realness of it and showing that there is imperfection in art and that's what makes it beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
So, future, do we go on the road with a show? I don't know. I mean, I could be convinced to do it, I guess. I'd have to give some people some phone calls. Um, but I think the first person, if somebody came up to me and was like, you need to go on the road with this. You're going to be playing here, 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 and here. We're going to sell a bunch of your whatever. Obviously, I wouldn't do that because I want to be in control of everything. Because it's kind of a trust issue, but also the industry just seems like it's completely fraudulent and disgusting.
Totally.
And
Totally.
but independent artists, I would definitely collaborate with them and in that kind of community, not really like, you know what I'm talking
Totally. That's
about.
obviously my whole thing too. Is like, let's talk about the little guys.
Right. My very very first call is obviously Ben.
Yeah.
My second call is my brother, because I think my brother could actually, he is a trained musician, multi instrumentalist as well, and he could probably learn them all and go on tour. But not only that, he's family, and if you're going to go on the road, it's good to have family with to kind of keep you, focused and in
Grounded and
line and
yeah.
grounded and everything else. So
Yeah.
he'd be call number 2 after Ben
I love
for
it.
sure.
I think that would
Um,
be fun. Although it would be hard because what has Ben said? He said he wants to,
yeah, right. Yeah,
So
might have to replace him.
you do like a hologram of Ben, take it on
Well,
the road.
if you had money, you'd probably do it for money. You'd be like, oh yeah. Well. I mean, if it was like temporary, go on the road for a month or two and come home
Yeah.
with X amount. Is that gonna be good for you? And you probably do it. But as far as any future recordings, yeah, sure, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
of course. We'll see, one project at a time, one song at a time. There's a lot of songs to learn, and then there's a lot of songs to write. So that's kind of what we're doing. It's like we're doing both. We're learning songs and we're writing songs. We're taking songs away that are already songs out there, and we're replacing them with our own.
Love it.
So, or adding to the catalog of humanity's musical book
I like that. I like that.
encyclopedia. There is, like, I always say it, whenever we do these jams, and they're like, how about this song? And I've never heard of it. It's got some crazy name. They usually do, like I said, Sally on a pipe cleaner or something. It's weird. It's weird. But it's you're like, I never heard it. What is that? And they're, well, it's kind of like, Temperance Real, but it's this and with with a B section and blah blah. There's so many
So
songs
many
out there.
songs.
It's so many,
Mm-hmm.
and not including the new stuff.
Yep.
And then there's songs that are lost, gone. What were they singing back in ancient Greece, or a civilization like Pompeii?
Yeah.
Did Pompeii have a house band?
Yeah. Like what
Are they
kind of
frozen
bands
in
were
in rock?
playing? Yeah, you would go to the, wherever
What
and
did
you'd
their
have
music sound
wine
like?
and drinks and there would be music playing, somebody playing like a lute or some shit. Like, I don't know,
Right.
what were they, what was the thing? Were there bands where people were like going to see and stuff? I mean, there had to be
Yeah.
some
I
capacity.
mean, recorded music is it's modernity, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's how
When you
long
think
ago
about it.
was it?
Yeah. When you
It's
take the whole timeline of,
mhm,
it really is. It really is. And you even think like way back to like African tribes just vibing around the campfire and singing songs
sure.
and doing whatever. I mean, it's just all the way back.
Yeah, so we're just doing our part to try to keep what we have available to us now, preserve it to the best that we can,
Yeah.
um, and share it, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and in the meantime, make our own mark as well. Make our
Yeah.
own. So, yeah,
Yeah. Leave your own along the way.
yep,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
I love it. I love it.
Good
Awesome. 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 Well, this was so great to see you, first of all. It was wonderful to
to see
talk
you
to
too.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime, anytime. And I'm a huge Karl Engelmann fan. I love everything that you make. So, and this album is a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what's next for you. So,
Very good. Share it wide.
I will. I will.
Share it wide.
Everybody listen and share it with all of your friends.
Indeed. Indeed.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you don't have anything else, I think that's it.
I think I'm good. I've got to go and get brie cheese, and I have to buy a bunch of pillows for the
That
party.
that's an interesting combination. I love this. I
I'll just
can't
keep you
wait.
guessing on that.
I can't wait to see everything that you do. It's gonna be fun. Awesome.
Indeed.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. This is a
Of
good
course.
time.
Yep.
And we'll talk soon.
You got it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.